So I just started watching this Tucker Carlson, one of the last ones out there left. Guys, just pray for this man. He's interviewing Jeffrey Epstein's brother. Let's watch this together. Incredibly interesting.
It's interesting to learn who Jeffrey Epstein hung around with while he was alive. People who flew on his airplane, people who stayed on his private island in the Caribbean, those who had dinner at his home off Fifth Avenue in New York. And to some extent, those names are coming out, not all of them. But we know a lot of the people who are in Jeffrey Epstein's life, and we have for several years now. But on another level, that whole story seems like a bit of a sideshow.
That's correct. A sideshow sounds right.
Mysteries surrounding Jeffrey Epstein's life or death.
Right.
There are three of them, almost none of which is ever discussed in the media.
Okay.
The first is, who did Jeffrey Epstein work for? What did Jeffrey Epstein do for a living, and on whose behalf?
Nobody asked that.
We don't know.
Nobody cares to know.
The second question is, where did all the money come from? Hundreds of millions of dollars that passed through his hands over many years.
Where did the money come from?
Where is it now? We don't know that either. And
asking all the right questions as usual.
All, which is, what happened to Jeffrey Epstein? On August 10, 2019, he was found dead in the Federal Correction Facility in Manhattan, and one of the most secure places in the world. Did he kill himself, as the government has claimed ever since, or was he murdered? Well, the overwhelming evidence suggests that he was in fact
you all know
murdered.
The answer to that.
The U.S. government, including the Attorney General of the United States, covered up that murder. These are the questions that matter most, and they're exactly the ones not being addressed in the news media. Why is that? We decided to speak to someone who has insight into this question, and that is Jeffrey Epstein's only surviving relative. His name is Mark Epstein. He was Jeffrey Epstein's brother, separated by 18 months. He's a successful real estate developer.
See, let me pause it right here really quick. Let me tell you why I'm so passionate about this. I couldn't give a crap about Jeffrey Epstein, whatever, And then you got even the Dershowitz of the world, that lawyer, the lawyer Alan Dershowitz. He's a creep. We know Clinton was on the plane, and we know that he's the P word. He liked them really young. He still likes them really young. But I'm sure eventually they'll get away with it. But I'm going to tell you why, and this is why I'm making this video. It concerns me a lot because I come from the Dominican Republic. Used to be a third world country, now it's doing better. But the government is corrupt. But the people expect it to be corrupt. They expect when a cop stops you, you give him a little bribe, they'll let you go. That's expected, okay? It's expected that politicians put some in their pocket. They'll favor some people, give some licenses, some permits. You bring in something from New York, from America to the Dominican Republic. You grease the right hands. They won't even check your bags. Listen, I understand. I come from there, all right? I expect it to happen over there. I might even be a beneficiary of those benefits when I'm over there. Grease a little hand here and there. I get all of that. But you know what? Dominican Republic will never be America. That's the problem. I came here because America. Everybody comes here, even when they complain. Why don't they go back? Why don't I go back? Because it's America. I'll go to Dominican Republic for a weekend or two. I'll have fun over there. But it's not America. Little things like infrastructure, little things like traffic laws, those are little things that nobody pays attention to. All right? Those things exist here at a very high level in America. Nobody appreciates those things because you don't know what it is to not have them. And I get it. Why am I going to rant about that? Because it is obvious, and we are all so calm, that Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell and the Clintons and the Obamas and the Dershowitz and the Princess, everybody gets away with all this stuff, and all we are doing is walking around saying, well, they're corrupt, it doesn't matter. Oh, we all know that that's happening. No, we're supposed to do something about it so we don't become eventually a Dominican Republic, a Cuba, a Venezuela, all right? Any country, any other country, pick it. Right? I'm not going to say China because we all know that's immediately China, Russia. If we continue to think that this is okay for these people to get away with that, and there is no price to pay. That's the way that we're heading. Why are you guys so calmed about it? Why is all these people so calmed about it? Why are you Americans? This is your land. Why are you so easy about being taken it's being taken away from you? Look, I'm even ranting. It's being taken away from you and you're doing nothing about it. You're doing nothing about it. You're on your TikToks and your Instagrams. All right? Nobody's doing anything about it. Your country is being taken away from you. And by the way, Dominican Republic, great country to go to, great vacation place. Not favored by America because they don't play ball all the time, right? But you know, Haiti's right next door. They're going through the little thing also when it comes to immigration. America, all right? It's America. No other like it. But we are going down a hill quick. It's happening. It's said everywhere. Get it. Oh, we're going to become a communist. Oh, we're going to become a socialist. Everybody that says that, they have no experience about what they're talking about. I've been around the world. All right? I'm from the Dominican Republic, but I've been around a couple times. And we always come back. If everywhere is so great. Oh, by the way, yeah. Oh, this country's so great, but let me go to America, make the money, then I'll leave. Oh, ain't that amazing? Ain't that amazing? Okay? Opening the borders to where we are losing everything in this country, little by little. Actually, you know what? No, it used to be little by little. It's in a hurry right now. We're going to go back to watching this, but it's worrisome. It's worrisome to me. Because back in the 60s, we had a Trujillo, a dictator in the Dominican Republic. That dictator disappeared people. When somebody disagreed with him, they died. And nobody said anything about it. The news channels agree with them. The radio stations agree with them. Oh, they protected them. All right. Well, you know, people disappear all the time. People disappear all the time. We all know the government does it. Who cares? That's what the government does. But the Dominican Republic will never be America. That is what's happening here. And then eventually we will become that. Because we are becoming soft. No, I'm not. You're becoming soft. All right? We can no longer depend on men, on young men, to take the place of us oldies anymore. All right? We grew up looking up to men. We grew up looking up to real men. I want to be like that guy right over there, a macho, masculino man, manly man. Where are they at now? Where are they at now? Dead. I'm the next one to die. The next generation to die. And I am worried for America and for the rest of the world, for the softies that we're leaving behind. Okay? Just with your little soy things and your little gluten crap, right? You all are soft. And this country is being taken away from you. What are you going to do when they come for you and you got no muscles on you, right? You're weak with your allergies. This country is being taken and you're doing nothing about it.
In New York, and he's very concerned for his own safety. So the interview that follows is one that you will listen to rather than see. Mark Epstein refused to appear on camera, but we think what he has to say is worth hearing. Here it is. Do you think your brother killed himself?
Not now. No. When I first heard he was dead from suicide, I had no reason to doubt it, so I accepted that. But then after the autopsy and after Bill Barr made that asinine statement, I said, this was not a suicide.
But when you first heard the news, you thought it was a possibility that he killed himself.
Yeah, I accepted it as a fact. I heard it on the news. It was, Sampson. Barbara Sampson was the chief pathologist. Dr.
Right.
Roman did the actual autopsy with Dr. Bonner.
So Barbara Sampson is the person who declared it.
Let's go back to that really quick. Let's go back.
Said pending, when it said cause of death, which means pending further investigation.
Yes.
Pending further investigation.
Days later, it was declared a suicide by the chief pathologist who was not at the autopsy.
Declared suicide by the chief pathologist. That was not even
time to make her
present.
A suicide, or was she basing it on Bill Barr's statement?
And who was the chief pathologist who made that declaration?
Dr. Roman.
That was the pathologist who was there.
No. That was Sampson. Barbara Sampson was the chief pathologist.
So,
Dr.
Right.
Roman did the actual autopsy with Dr. Barnett.
So Barbara Sampson is the person who declared it officially a suicide, and
so look at this. You're gonna tell me? Look at this.
do you think his only surviving
It was this department people basing it on Bill Barr's statement.
and who was the chief pathologist who made that declaration?
Dr. Roman?
That was the pathologist who was there.
No. That was Sampson. Barbara.
Look at this. Why is it that they all look like this? Why is it? I didn't need her to write no autopsy report. I needed to write nothing. I can just look at her and say, I know what you're right. Don't even write it. Just tell me. He killed himself. Got it.
Barbara Sampson was the chief pathologist. Dr.
Right.
Roman did the actual autopsy with Dr. Barnett's death. Every question I asked was answered by saying, after a thorough investigation, we determined it was a suicide. It was like them pleading the fifth. I got the same answer to every question I asked.
So, did you speak to Barbara Sampson, the official who ruled this a suicide?
No, I haven't been able to get to her.
Oh, she never called you.
No.
So the only brother that he has, obviously, okay, he's on the show. The brother says that they have no sisters, they have no mother, no father. They are deceased. So it's only Epstein, and now it's him. He doesn't want to be on camera because he thinks he's going to get killed, right? Got it. Sure, of course you will. Because I'm sure that the Clintons are watching, and they're just going to go back to writing on that little book of theirs, right? So, to get this straight, the only living brother that Epstein has, the only family that he has, is not allowed to speak to the chief pathologist that wrote the autopsy. They just say, take it for what we tell you, and it's done. Imagine for a second if that was your mother, your father, and you go ask, you want to hear a little more about the autopsy, and they just blow you off. Imagine that. They'll just blow you off. And by the way, of course, if they're doing it to them, you and I are nothing.
So in her public explanation, she has been asked about this. We tried to reach out to her. She refused to speak to us for reasons we don't understand. But in her official explanation,
you do understand
she
why.
suggested that she ruled it a suicide, effectively overruling the judgment of the people who actually performed the autopsy because your brother had attempted suicide previously.
Yeah, but that's been shown to be false. You can listen to David Schoen, his attorney, on the podcast, the Crime Waves podcast. He explains that Jeff was attacked by his cellmate, but he didn't want to report it as such because he was afraid of retaliation.
But every news account of his initial